Hey everyone, welcome back to Teenager Therapy. I'm Gael.
I'm Thomas.
I'm Kayla.
And welcome back to the podcast. So funny story, we don't get recognized often, but I feel like that was because of the pandemic and no one was like out. So now that like we are out and about, we get recognized every once in a while. Like when we went to New York, there was this girl that recognized us and she was like, I've been listening for 4 years, and I was like, holy shit. Like
And it happened really random. We were just in a Starbucks. Because
Dunkin', actually.
Oh wait, it was two encounters. Okay, one time we were Upper East Side, and Kayla wanted water, so we stopped by Starbucks and we met like this lovely
Really?
girl.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Was I there?
you were in the restroom. I
Oh.
think.
Oh yeah,
Oh, wait,
yeah.
I
You were in the
remember.
restroom,
I
and then she was gone by the time you came out.
Yeah.
I was like, huh? Yeah.
And then the most recent time, it was in the airport.
Yeah.
So funny.
Yeah. And like, even just like last Friday, I went to a birthday party with my friend, his birthday party, and then one of his friends like was like, oh my god, I listened to like I introduced myself and I'm like, hi, I'm Gael, and she's like, wait, like, are you from? And I was like, yeah. She's like,
That's
I thought I
crazy.
recognized you. And she was like, oh my god. I was like, oh my god, like that is
Had they been listening a long
crazy.
time?
Yeah, they listened for like 2 years,
Oh,
something like that.
wow.
In high school, they listened to it, which was really like very interesting experience. So it was funny, like just being like in that birthday party, and like those two people, like there was another one that recognized me or like that knew of the podcast, and I was like, oh wow, like that's so trippy. Yeah, and then, but it was still fun, like getting to know them, and like it's such a weird setting to meet. Like I can't even imagine like what it must be like meeting someone that you've listened to on the podcast, like, and they're like just in the same party with you,
Yeah.
taking care of like their drunk friend, because I was taking care of my drunk friend. And so something I did realize at that party is like I do like taking care of people. Like I do like taking care of people. Like I used to think I'm like, I don't like taking care of drunk people. It's kind of nice sometimes. Like,
Really?
yeah, I always thought I wouldn't, but it was like, honestly, like if it's not happening every single time, like it's nice. It's like, you care for them in like a way. So it's like,
I think it's fun, especially when it's like someone you're into.
oh,
Yeah, I think it makes it just more exciting. It's like, oh my god, he's taking care of me. Oh my god, it's like I rest my head on your shoulder.
He cares.
that could be sweet.
Yeah.
I could see why that would be sweet. Yeah. So,
But it's also fun. Like, it's also fun with friends. Like,
yeah.
it's fun.
But like the weird thing is, I was like thinking about how it would feel if someone took care of me. I've never drank, but if I like were to get drunk, I feel like if I like got to the point where I was like throwing up and I needed someone to take care of me, I would be like one of those bitches that like isolates themselves and be like, do not like come near me, like get away.
That sounds so funny.
Why?
Something similar happened to me.
Are you one of those?
I try not to ask for help most of the time, and that did happen to me one time where
She just went home and did her thing.
Yeah. That's literally exactly what happened.
Yeah.
I went home. I felt something in my tummy moving, and I just started throwing up.
But
Just like pulling my hair back. Like,
but in that moment, did you wish you had someone, or were you like, I'm happy, like there's no one here to help me?
I don't know if it was necessary.
It wasn't that bad. Or maybe it was.
I mean, as bad as throwing up can be,
Yeah.
But I think that just goes for like most things where I try not to ask for help a lot of the times. Cause why?
Dude, no, okay. I have been asking myself the same question. Like
Yeah.
a couple nights ago, I was trying to go to sleep and I couldn't. I just kept thinking. And then this one scenario popped up in my head where I remember I was with the hubby, or my boyfriend at the time, and I was sick and I just had a flu, and I think I got food poisoning. And it was like, so basically like I was supposed to stay at a hotel on Wednesday, and it was Tuesday night, and Wednesday I had to leave in the early morning to go to the hotel, right? And on Tuesday I got sick, and I got really, really sick. And I was like, oh my god, like why do I feel like this food poisoning all of a sudden? And more like, long story short, I get really sick. I get like a small fever. I like feel terrible. just out of energy. I'm like in my bed the entire day and the entire night. And my boyfriend was there and he was taking care of me. And I remember him just like putting me to sleep because I like was insisting on going to a hotel on that same night because like it had already been rented out and I just hadn't been sure if I should go. And I was like, no, I think I'm still good to go. Like, let's just go right now so I could sleep there and like I'll be fine. And he was like, no, you should probably stay. And so I remember staying and like sleeping on my bed. And, you know, he did the whole like taking care of someone when you're sick. You know, you tuck them in, you like make sure they're hydrated and all that. And he was just doing so much for me that like I just started crying. Like I just started to cry. And I felt like such a baby because I was literally just like laying in bed, like crying, like sobbing, and like I had boogers all over my nose. I was like, I just feel so useless. Like I'm sorry, like for being like this. And I just felt bad. Like in the moment, I think I just felt bad. I felt guilty that like he had to take care of me. I felt like a burden. I felt like annoying. And it was a weird experience because I'm like, why do I feel so ashamed that I'm not like the one taking care of you? You know, like why do I feel so much shame for having to be taken care of and have help, you know, be helped? And so I was thinking about that and it kind of hit me because I was like, that is so sad. Like it is literally heartbreaking. I'm like, what is wrong with me? I was just like, what is wrong with me? I feel like there's something there where I just, I think I just feel like if I'm not the one protecting you, if I'm not the one taking care of you, then I'm like a failure or I'm like just not good enough or just not worthy of love, I think.
Your savior complex.
I was literally about to say, yeah.
No, yeah. And it's bad because it makes me sad because I want help, you know, I want to be taken care of. But when I do receive that, I can't accept it, and it just like makes me feel like insecure. It makes me feel like if I keep it up, people like I'll be too hard to love, I'll be too much, and you know the people I'll love I'll like push away.
I get that because there was one time where like I just went over my limits and I was hanging out with my friend who I like was just getting to know, and I went over my limit. I didn't know what happened and she was taking care of me and I felt so horrible about it. Like, and I think it's also because I didn't know her that well. Like we were getting to become like good friends, but I also wasn't like really, really close with her. So the fact that she was taking care of me just made me feel really bad. But I think when it comes to relationships, it's nice. Like, I think I wouldn't like want to admit it, but I like being taken care of and I like being tucked into bed and like them making me soup or something. I don't know.
Normal. No, like you should be fine admitting that because you are normal.
Yeah,
that is like what you should expect.
Yeah, I really enjoy it. Makes me feel like they care. But I do think that like if that were to happen constantly, then I'd feel like a burden. But I mean, it only happened once, so you shouldn't be so hard on yourself.
That's the issue.
Yeah, I think I definitely feel the same thing as Gael, but not in terms of like I should be the one protecting or like helping the other person. I just feel like a burden. Like I just feel incompetent, like helpless, and because of that I'm like adding stress onto somebody else's life and like on their plate, and I'm like, they don't need this, like I could just do it myself. Like, and it's really hard when you like last option, last resort is like, okay, I'm gonna ask this person for help, and then they just don't reciprocate it the same way, and you can tell that they're bothered by it, and it's like, oh, I didn't even want to ask for help in the first place, and then it's just like reinforces the fact that like I shouldn't ask for help, you know,
because it won't be well received.
Yeah like that's happened to me a few times and I'm just like, damn.
Really?
Yeah, it's like, okay, I got the courage, I'm gonna ask for help, and then it's like, wait, yeah,
that is heartbreaking.
It's
like,
so heartbreaking. It's like it's so bad. Yeah,
I get that.
It feels so vulnerable.
It's so vulnerable.
It's like you're like
yeah.
I don't know.
And like even being taken care of, like, yes, it's nice, but I just like I'm not used to it.
Yeah.
I'm not used to it, and so it feels weird.
It makes
And,
me
like,
feel like a child again.
Yeah, it's like healing your inner child
Yeah.
when somebody's
No,
like
it really is.
taking care of you.
But it's what I desperately crave. Like I desperately want.
Yeah.
You're just overfilled with emotions. That's why. It's like you're getting something that you aren't used to.
No, yeah, I think that's what it was. Like when I think about that moment, like I start to tear up, and I think it's in a good way. I used to think it was like I'm like sad about it, but I think it's kind of like slightly like tears of joy because it's like that did feel really nice. And then like I think being aware of it or like experiencing that, like I think the reason I cried is because I felt like overwhelmed with emotions almost. It's like damn, like, this is what it feels like, you know. So yeah, I don't know, now I'm like confused because it definitely was like an odd moment to truly like feel taken care of in that way. So it's weird to actually like accept it and let yourself accept that, because like I said, I feel like it's like what I need the most, but it's just so hard to get used to actually receiving it when someone is offering it, because I think we tend to just push it away very easily. So yeah, that was my little instance that made me think like how odd it is to like be just helped and like loved in certain ways.
Do you guys think that you make it easy for people to love you?
That is a good question because that has been on my mind. I think
That's so funny.
no, it literally had like it's
Really? That's so funny.
Literally it's like I think I toxically try to make it very easy to love me because I'm really scared of being unlovable and pushing people away. So relationships, friendships, whatever it might be, like my biggest goal is like, okay, like how can I repress my needs as much as possible and fulfill theirs as much as possible, so I'm just like loved and they just you know.
Wow.
Unfortunately.
Oh my.
Honestly, me too. But also, I'm not sure because I love like receiving love. Like I'm a Leo, like I need a lot of it. And I don't know, I don't think I've ever like made it like difficult for someone to love me. I just think that sometimes I'm just not compatible with someone and like that just causes problems and then it just doesn't work out. But for the most part, I think I'm easy to love. I don't know.
Yeah.
Gal might disagree,
know
but I don't know.
You guys might disagree with each other. I don't know. Because I do think about this sometimes. And like a part of me just is like, okay, yeah. Like you make it harder for the person. And I think that's because I would rather like put them through like tests. This sounds so bad. Like tests, you know, like little trials to see like, okay, if I like show you like this bad side, are you still going to be around like for later, you know? So it's like, I don't even do it on purpose. It seems like I think it just happens where I'll intentionally tell them like, okay, here's some of my bad qualities that you like might see. And then like, if that happens, or like I'll put a situation where it will happen so I can see like their reaction and how they handle it.
So you just very openly show like all the bad sides and then be like,
For the most part, yeah. I just don't like, I don't push my needs aside, or I don't change like my personality or anything. And so that's like, because it is tempting to do sometimes. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. But yeah. For me, in the beginning, I like it to be like, not like it, prefer if they were to see some of my bad qualities so that I know that like they won't be scared in the future and run away. Abandonment issues.
right.
Yeah.
Well, I feel that's so interesting because I feel like most people would suppress the bad qualities instead of try to like show them. But you just want to get it over as quick as possible before getting
Kind of,
attached.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's brave. I don't know if I could do that because I think like
And like these bad qualities aren't like toxic or anything. Like, you know, it's more just like
Right.
myself, like, you know, pushing you away or like whatever.
just your bad quality.
Yeah. Just so that I know that they won't like run away the first time it happens. Because I would rather them run away like a month in than like 6 months in when our first fight happens and then they realize like I don't like that.
That's fair. That's so interesting because I do the complete opposite. Like
I know
would,
that's why I'm like so surprised.
Yeah,
I was
I would be
wow.
like, fuck, like let me see how long I could try to suppress my bad qualities or just fix my bad qualities. I think my mindset is just I'll just fix it.
No.
I'll just fix it. I'll just fix it. But you know your point, Thomas, was interesting because it's like some like, you know, some people might think you're like hard to love. Do you think some people just aren't compatible because you show love in different ways and you'll never learn to love them? Or
Yeah.
but then also it's like, is like finding a good friend or partner just finding someone that's easy to love? Like, is that what you're saying? Like, it's better to just find someone that's easy to love than like learning to love them even if it's difficult? Like, which one is more worth it to you?
I don't know. Okay, I'm like trying so hard to follow, and I feel like I'm having a hard time. But I think I know what you guys are saying. I think I'm in between you guys, and I don't necessarily put my needs aside, but I don't test the other person. I'm just myself. Like, I'm real, and I don't put them through tests. But if something happens, like I'll just say how it is, and if they do something that bothers me, I'm gonna say something about it.
Yeah.
And I feel like that has costed me relationships in the past because I like spoke my mind maybe when I shouldn't have.
But I feel like that's just you.
That's just me. Like, it's just, it wouldn't feel right for me to like be with someone who just can't take the truth. I don't know. Sorry about it, but I don't know. I feel like for me, I just need a lot of reassurance. And if I can't tell that it's like very obvious that they love me, then I start to think like, oh my God, we're not compatible. Like, you're not showing me, because they can love me, but if I can't like see
Accept
it like
that.
physically and like emotionally, then I feel like I'm not loved.
Yeah.
And they can tell me that they love me as much as they want, but it's like I need to see it. And
So basically,
That's
like,
valid.
people, you have a certain type of way you like feeling loved, and when people,
Yeah.
and some people might love you, but in a different way that you don't see, so you don't feel loved.
exactly, and that's why I'm like
Yeah.
the compatibility, like that.
Yeah. So
part.
that's what I mean. And if that's something that like we're all inherently set on, like we love a certain way, and it's like our quest to find someone that can recognize the way we love, or if you think it's more of a you love a certain way, but you could learn to love different people in the way they require.
Yeah, that. I just think that it's so hard for me because I just need constant reassurance. Like,
What does that look like to you?
I don't know. I need to know that they want me and only me. And it's because I have really bad trust issues from the past, and I'm just scared that they're going to leave me for someone else, or they're going to see like the real me and not want me anymore. So I don't really know what it looks like, but I know it when I feel that like, oh, like something feels off, and you like, I just don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. Well,
But I obviously can like learn to love someone in the way they need to, and it might look very different from me. Just take some understanding. But I don't know. It's just hard because I have so much trust issues, and it's really hard for me to like actually feel like someone loves me because I feel so unlovable. Yeah.
so do you think you're hard to love?
Okay, I think so, and I took it in the sense that like, actually I don't know. I feel like maybe the question just isn't clarified for me, but
There was a lot to it. No, you answered it. That was
okay,
just, like, a
okay, I
different
just
one of,
wasn't
like,
sure.
in general, like
I feel like I don't necessarily make it hard for someone to love me. I just feel unlovable.
Right.
That's the point I'm trying to make here.
Oh, okay. I completely
was,
get
like,
that. Okay, wait.
trying
Yeah, I
so
get
hard.
that. Wait, no. I switched my
Okay,
answer over to you.
Wait, say it again. 'Cause I think I got it.
I don't necessarily try to make it hard to love me for someone to love me. I just feel unlovable.
Okay.
Yeah.
So a lot of things, like it takes a lot because you have like your own issues of accepting love.
Yeah.
It's hard for you to accept the love, see the love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess ultimately, I do make it hard for someone to love me, even if it's not intentional. It's just me
I
not
agree.
being able to accept it.
Yeah.
There you go. Sorry,
Like,
guys. That was like
that
very
makes
long.
sense. That's fine. 'Cause I don't know what does it mean to feel unlovable?
It's easy. No one can love you because.
Let us lay it out for you.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. I don't know.
Like when I think I feel unlovable, I think that I have bad qualities in myself that I don't think anyone could enjoy. So that to me is like what feeling unlovable means.
Yeah, and it could totally be that.
Yeah.
But sometimes like it isn't even like bad qualities. It's just qualities about yourself that like you think other people just won't get and understand about you.
Mm-hmm.
So do you feel that?
Yeah. Yeah. I would say so. What
Yeah.
else is there to it?
No, yeah, like,
that's
it's
it.
just-
Like we talked about it before.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like issues that we have with our own personal selves. And like I know from the outsider's perspective, it's like, how can you think that about yourself? You know, it's like you're so great, whatever. But it's just like it's very much different when you're like the
Yeah.
actual person.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And obviously too, like with friendships and like romantic relationships, I think it's very different. And in the sense I'm talking about like romantic relationships.
I low-key feel the same about friendships and relationships. Like, I just like have manifested so much self-hatred throughout my life, just because of like trauma and things that have happened. And I don't know, I have a lot of self-doubt about like, am I likable? And I've heard that I am a likable person, but I just can't believe it because of the past. So I mean, yeah, I don't know. It's really like a internal thing. Like
Yeah.
I know it's in my head, and I know I'm not a completely unlovable person. Someone out there is able to love me. It's so hard to believe it.
Right. I think for me it's I don't know if it's the opposite, but it's very different because I think the way I would describe my relationship with receiving love, taking love, giving love, letting myself be loved is that I can believe that people can love me. I just don't truly feel like anyone will love me as much as I love them or care for me the way that I care for them. And that's what's weird. So in that way, like I don't think I'm an unlovable person. I just think like I will never feel like equally as loved. I'll always feel like there's an imbalance of why am I throwing myself at this friend when they're not reciprocating it, or in relationships in the past. I feel like I felt that a lot. Yeah, that's what I feel.
know-
I think that's another part that adds.
I kind of wonder how that feels like in terms of like romantic relationships where it's like you love the other person more than they love you, but they still like love you, but just not to like your standards.
That's
And
interesting.
it's just sad because it's like to the other person, it's like they are loving you to like their maximum capacity maybe, but it's just not enough for you.
Yeah. And that's, I feel like I had a conversation like that. There was a phase in my relationship where that was like a big issue. And that is interesting because like, what does it mean? Like I can't love you the way you love me. I can't love you as much as you love me, but I still love you. So it's like,
Before I would hear that and I'd be like, what do you mean? But I get it.
I'm in the same boat with Gael.
Because
I have such a hard time like accepting that like that amount of love is enough for me. You know,
But,
it'll always feel like I'm the one who will love more.
but like, isn't a part of love just like giving all you have without expecting anything in return?
Yes.
Yeah, and it
but
looks
sometimes
different.
people's like the love, someone give you 100% might not be enough for you. That's the thing, and that's why like you could have an amazing relationship with someone and they could be loving you at 100 and still be like, this still isn't like
That's
the way-
so sad to
Right?
think about.
And it's like you have to find someone, friendships or relationships, where them loving you is like on the same level, you feel like is on the same capacity as the love that like you have for them, if that makes sense. Yeah, it's so sad to think like someone's maximum love they can give and pour into you still like doesn't feel enough, and it makes you wonder like why doesn't it feel enough? Are they just not doing certain things? Is it just like what does it mean? So I don't know why like what that love could look like. I guess it just comes back to like sorry, I guess it comes back to just what love looks like for someone, like how you feel love, how you like being loved, and sometimes it's just a different love language for real. This is a weird like, it's really like, it's your opinion of it. Like I think you could learn to love someone even if you're like incompatible at the beginning, because like sometimes like what is incompatible, like what does it mean to be incompatible with a friend or like a relationship? Like if you get along with them, if you have nice conversations, then I feel like love is something you can work and improve on, unlike just general like vibes with someone.
But like sometimes love isn't enough. Like it doesn't carry the entire like
And no,
Yeah.
but that's what I'm
relationship or friendship.
exactly. I agree with that. And so like what I'm saying is, it's like if you have a friend or a relationship where you guys get along, like you feel like they're a person you like having conversations with. You just like talking to them. You like their presence. You like their humor. Love is like the last part that like, is the thing that I think is more moldable. Like if Thomas and I, like hate each other's humor, personality, you can't mold love to make it work because it just won't. But if our personalities, our humor, everything got along, but our love language didn't, or the way we love people didn't, I feel like that's something you can kind of mold to make it work. Does that make sense?
That
Yeah,
makes
that
sense.
makes sense.
Yeah. Okay, good. I was like cleared it up in my own
You got it
head.
across. We got it.
Yeah.
It's received.
So now it's about letting ourselves accept that love that we have talked about before. I just don't know.
Yeah. I don't know why it's so hard for me to like accept the fact that like somebody might actually love me this much.
Do you feel like you have like, how many do you feel like in the relationships, friendships you have, there's a lot of people that love you the same way you love them, or do you still like not feel that?
I think it's equal love actually. So it's not that. It's just like, I don't know. It's just hard to fathom sometimes. And I don't know
Yeah.
what went wrong.
I feel like a lot of times I just don't take enough time to appreciate the words people say to you, the acts they do for you. And that's what's making me feel so like,
I've thought about that sometimes, like, like, for example, like my boyfriend, like he'll like be telling me this and I'm like, you don't mean it. Like, like you're lying,
you just brush it off. Like, okay, thank you. You're so sweet. Anyways.
Not necessarily like that, but I'd be like, stop. I'd be like
Okay.
quit playing, And it's just so hard for me to like fully digest what they're saying to me. Because when I do, I'm like, oh my God, like there's so much love here. And, it's like overwhelming.
Oh, really? I feel
Like overwhelming in a good way that like I need but reject.
Oh,
Does
interesting.
that make sense?
I agree.
Because it's just so unheard of. Like
It's so unheard of. It's crazy. It's
yeah.
it's insane. Yeah.
Well, I think for me, like I notice in a lot of friendships, relationships, whatever it might be, in general in my life, I don't process like compliments as much as I should. Like I don't take time to like be like, oh my God, someone just told me they find me beautiful. Someone just told me they really like this part of me. Because I just like don't pay attention to them. Like it goes into one ear and out the other so quickly that I don't take time to be like, well, it's like someone took the time out of the day to like tell me that. Like that is like kind of cool. And like recently I've been reflecting a lot, or just like thinking about times when people have told me good things about me. And I'm like, it does feel nice to like actually sit with the thought and be like, these are like big, like important words. Like
I just can't help but feel like they're lying.
I was just about to go there.
They're lying to me.
Or
they
like
secretly hate me, and they're just saying this to like cheer me up.
Oh
but
wait, no.
I don't know. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Like I'm not.
I more so just think about it like, oh, they said it, but like they weren't putting too much thought into it.
Exactly. That's how it is.
So I accept it, but I don't fully like break it down maybe as much as I should.
I forget. I think for me, I believe it. I can like accept it. I just forget to process it really. Like I'm like, yeah. I don't take time to be in the moment when they're telling me that. You know, you kind of start like thinking about other things or brushing it off before they even have the chance to finish. Like I think about how uncomfortable I get making eye contact with someone that's telling me a compliment or like telling me how much they enjoy some part of me. I like have to like look away, do something. But when I think about how intimate it is when you know, keep the eye contact throughout the whole thing and like absorb it and be in the moment, that's when you're like, oh shit, like that did mean a lot, you know? I feel like I'm like, I could really use one of those moments right now. Like, you know, like I feel like I've been like, I just like, I feel like that would hit really good right now. Like I need to have one of those conversations you see like where it's like a teacher, like student, and they're like looking at you directly and they're like, you like, you hear me? Like you don't, like, I feel like I need like a good one of those right now.
You need a mentor.
Yeah, I need someone to like force me to look at them in the eyes and be like, you, like, and then tell me some good quality about myself.
Give nice. A compliment to Gael down below.
Yeah, give a compliment. No, like for real, when's the last time you've had that? Like someone literally be like, no, like I'm serious. Not just like, oh my god, you're so cute, you're so fun, I love you, thank you so much. But like actually like, Kayla, like look at me, like you are like, you know, like actually telling you that. It's been a little bit, no?
Yeah, you know, that this reminds me, one time I was in Goodwill and I was just like shopping and there was like this person and like more than once they told me like, oh my god, like you're so beautiful, and then they came around again and they're like, oh my god, like you're an angel, and I was like, oh, like thanks. And now looking back at that, I'm like,
I think,
you know,
yeah,
like,
I'm able to accept it and believe it when it comes like out of nowhere, like from someone I don't know. But if it's someone I know, it's just like, what do you mean? I don't know.
It should be the opposite.
Yeah, it should be the opposite, but I don't know. I just have a hard time, like, because they know the full layers of me, so it's harder to believe that they can still think that when they know who I am, and I just don't feel like it's possible, but I know it is.
Yeah,
because I do remember getting like a really, really big compliment like at this one party, and it was just from this random girl, and she like did a double take, and she was like, "You are so pretty," and I was like, and I think about it all the time because it just felt like actually genuine. Because why would she lie to me?
Like with strangers, it's like they don't know you.
Yeah,
and
they have no reason to like.
Yeah,
lie.
and it's like their first impression of you too. It's like you see the first impression like right before your eyes. So it's like it's a nice feeling.
Yeah. I just gotta practice taking that from like people I actually know.
Yeah. No, I for real get you. Like honestly, even being called pretty, like something I notice is like getting called pretty often is like, I didn't notice like people do give compliments to pretty people and like they will not be shy about it. So like it's genuinely true. Like,
pretty privilege is real.
No, it's so fucking real. Like so my boyfriend, he's a pretty person. Like he does have a pretty face, and he gets called pretty like all the time. And so every time I was around him and like and his friends and meeting people, like people would be like, "You're so pretty. You're so pretty. You're so pretty." And it wasn't until like a while after hearing that I was like, holy shit, like this is normal for him. like when's the last time any like a random person that I just met was like, you're so pretty, like you're pretty, and like it made me kind of sad. I was like,
No.
fuck, like damn, that sucks, because I was like, damn, like I can't imagine, there's like, it's a double-edged sword when you're constantly getting compliments, because then they like obviously start to mean less, because you're like, okay, like I get it, which it's like a first world problem to have, but then like I started taking notice of it, which means I started taking notice of the lack of that in my own life. I'm like, has anyone ever called me pretty? And I was like, not really, until recently when someone did, like, that I didn't know, was like, oh my god, you're so pretty, and I was like, oh. And it felt
ego booster.
No, for real, it felt so good. I was like, finally. Like, really?
You trained for this. All the haircuts.
No, yeah, all the haircuts. It did feel really like, I was like, it felt really nice, but another part of me was like, damn, some people just live their life like this. Which is like, I bet that helps a lot with like self-love, confidence, because you just I don't know. It's definitely like, and it makes me want to call like people that I find pretty, because it's like, like it does make people feel good, and you don't know if they've heard that before or not. And like sometimes someone that you find really pretty is someone that doesn't get many of those compliments, so it's nice telling them. So if you find someone pretty, like tell them you like their face,
Yeah.
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 Retweet.
Okay, last little mini topic in like the overall arching topic of loving, letting yourself be loved. Do you feel like you have like found someone that truly knows how to make you feel loved? Because I feel like I mean, that's like rare to find, like people show love in different ways. So for someone to like do it in the exact way that you truly like accept it, do you feel like that's something you have?
I don't think so. But then again, I don't even know how it would look.
That's my point right there. That's exactly my point. It's
know.
like my first instinct is to be like, no, like I don't have that. But then I'm like, but I do in a way. And I'm so quick to dismiss it just because I automatically feel that like, oh, I'm not like lovable or whatever. So it's like I want to say I do, but my immediate reaction is to say like no. Do you guys know what I mean?
So if you do, does that mean like yes?
I think so.
You think so?
I'll leave it at I think so.
You think so? That's so interesting.
I think not really. I don't know. I feel like maybe in the past probably, but like at the moment, no, not really.
Isn't that so weird that like we don't even know how we like to be loved?
No, and I'm like discovering that now.
It's like, what
know?
what truly makes me be like those, like what I was thinking about is like that example I gave earlier of, being taken care of while I'm sick and like crying, and I thought it was like bad tears, but like now that I'm like talking about it, those were tears of just genuinely feeling loved. Like that was a moment where I felt loved. So, is that something that I have on the regular? And, I can't imagine what it must feel like to like actually have that regularly, where you're just like, I feel so loved because people do this and this and this for me.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that kind of takes a while.
I changed my answer. No, I haven't.
Yeah.
Like at least not someone that I'm like, whoa, I feel like super loved by. Like I have felt loved by like a lot of my friends in like relationships, but not one where I can be like, I wholeheartedly believe it and they're just like fulfilling every need and hitting every spot. It's just I don't think that's happened yet.
Yeah. I've had moments of it. I think having that consistently is still a work in progress.
Is it even possible? Like
Yeah,
right?
I feel like it's rare.
To consistently. Oh, that's depressing.
I was just thinking that.
It's just
like, well, this is gonna be nice to sit with at home.
right. Like, damn. Do I feel
Just
love? Do I have
just some
any
thoughts,
love in my life? People do a lot of things that are like loving. They
I
do a
just
lot of
think
loving
people
things
have
for
a
me.
hard time showing it.
And
so.
also just like
I have a hard time showing it. I have a really hard time showing
and
people
you have
that I
to
love
teach
them.
people how to love them, how you want to be loved.
Yeah. I think it's just because like I've never been fully expressive of my care and love for other people. So now it's like I'm learning how to do that. And I feel like I've gotten better at it, but it's still like a work in progress. And a lot of the times I just discredit myself and I'm like you're not doing enough, but it's like I'm doing what I can right now. So like
And even when like let's say they're giving it, I still can accept it. So it's like
yeah.
it's like there's
can't-
just so
we
much
can't
to
win.
do.
We can't win.
We can't win.
Yeah.
I get your point though. It does make me sad that like I can't express my love. It makes me so sad.
Oh my god. That shit gets to me because it's like I have so much thoughts, but I just can't seem
Yeah.
to get the words out because it's so overwhelming to me.
Yeah. That is the worst.
It's really so bad. Like I hate that feeling. I really do.
Yeah. It's like a pressure inside you. Anyways, guys, that is the end of today's topic. I hope you have someone in your life that makes you feel loved. Most of you probably don't. That's just
Let's be real.
And that's
Let's be
okay.
real, that's okay. But you know what? You gotta work for it. Like you really do gotta like tell your friends how, like have a conversation with them, like how you like to be loved. Like what we need is like we're not really strangers, but for ourselves, and how do we feel loved, and just answer questions for ourselves, because we need a lot more fulfilling friendships, relationships, and such. So let us know in the comments, in the poll, if you're listening on Spotify, how you like feeling loved, because I am very curious, because I think for me it's like words. I have like, thankfully for me it's like just words. So I'm curious to see what everyone is. Thankfully it's just words. Just tell me nice things, which is so funny because it's so on brand, like podcasting, audio, and now words. Like I love that shit. And isn't it so sweet when people use your name?
I think you've brought this up before now.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
it's so sweet. So in your comments, make sure you write my name. Any words?
I would like some compliments too.
Compliment yourself, maybe. Compliment each other in the comments.
Yeah.
Profile
Compliment Kayla.
pictures.
Compliment Kayla.
Especially Kayla.
Yeah.
Why me?
Because she needs it.
Everybody in this room needs it.
Yeah, I'm gonna cry.
Methinks.
Anyways.
Yeah, no, definitely. I'm like,
Thank you so much for listening. Remember, we have our little Sunday Spotify live every Sunday at 6 p.m. PST. Make sure you join them. We have like 3 or 4 left. How sad.
that's so
I
sad.
know.
We need to end with a bang.
With the bang.
Party on Spotify Live.
Party on Spotify Live. Turn up for the new year. Thank you so much for listening, and we will see you in the next episode. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.